it's fun. Why? Unfortunately, we haven't done it like, we're sitting with each other, we're not doing it in the real world. Even though we've started doing things in the real world, but I think Kanika Kapoor is one of those performers that, whenever she does come out with something, she's finally comes out. Otherwise, I just see like fashion pictures or stuff completely away from the industry. If somebody knows how to cut out from the industry when she needs to, on social media, that's it. Kanika, thanks so much for joining me on B4U.
Well, thank you so much for remembering me and still making sure that I'm here on the show. Thank you. That's not true. I just put out my life in the way it is, and not that I'm just an artist. I'm not just an artist. I am a daughter, mother, normal human being. I want to enjoy my life also. Why should I be running after just being?
No, but a lot of people use social media pretty much as a visiting card, especially artists, and especially when they become really big. They don't really like to share like too many emotions. I mean, you have a few of them, but even those sometimes seem like fashion shows about their clothes. But with you, it's almost like you don't like plan it. It's not like a planned setup where you can use it, and the power of social media is large, as Dwayne "The Rock" Johnsons to Cristiano Ronaldo to even Ranveer. They've all used it well. But you don't really use it as a tool, right?
No, I don't. I just don't know any other way. Rather, I mean, I feel like my managers tell me that, you need to post more. You can have such a much bigger following. You just don't post anything. You have to sing more. And I tell them, I sing every day. I almost sing every day. I said, kitna gao, literally, it's embarrassing that sometimes when you're doing interviews like this and you're in studio, like your voice is gone because you're just tired.
Yeah, that's true actually, but because we were discussing a while back, so the luxury of me being able to meet her virtually is the second time today. It's a double header, let's put it this way. Once on radio and once on TV. Last 2 years has been trying for a lot of people. Some artists, let me just tell you, like Vishal Dadlani told me, when the lockdown started 2 years ago, first 3 months, super creative. Next 6 months, super not creative. He went through those phases. Yashraj Mukhate, he's the guy with the meme king and all that. He said, virality, once it happened, I just suddenly started to get like a little stressed about what to make. So I just took a break. How's the last 2 years been for you as an artist?
Actually, it's been quite amazing. I have done a lot of work. I've been quite consistent I've had lots of, starting from Jugni 2.0, the end of 2020 till now, I've had lots of songs. And I've experimented. I mean, I didn't think that, I have to take out a song and it has to be a super hit. Yes. I don't think that happens with any artist. It could be the greatest artist and the greatest collaboration, and it could be whatever.
Yeah.
And so I've just been going with the flow and really enjoying it, and the one thing that I started doing was to do my riyaz.
Is that very underrated today? Like, do a lot of singers, because of how often you're singing in a studio and how many shows you all are doing? I've had singers tell me that they sometimes don't feel the need to do riyaz because singing itself is riyaz.
You have to do riyaz. You have to keep how you're stretching and you're exercising. It just, because in a show, sometimes you're not only in a wedding show, especially, I mean, in concerts also, you're screaming and you're yeas and yous and ahs. And so in a wedding show, no, I mean, it's not riyaz. It's anything but riyaz. In fact, you need a break. And so I feel it's important to really sit back, relax, and sing, and tone your voice properly. It's like the right balance between ENT, and your gut. Like, you have to really balance it. And I feel that the more I'm doing that, the more I'm able to sing better, the more I'm able to sing. The real gaiki only comes out. And now it's come to a point where if I don't do the riyaz and I do a show, I don't have confidence to do the show.
Really?
Yeah. Even if I have a tanpura on my phone, even if I'm doing hair and makeup and I'm very in a rush, I'll still put that on. And while I'm doing hair makeup, I've got the sargam going on. I have to warm up because I'm singing live.
Yeah.
At the start of my career, we used to mix the shows and, put some tracks and sing with it. But now we have a big band, last couple of years. And the way it's growing, we sing completely live for 90 minutes, 2 hours. It's not easy. If you don't practice
Yeah,
and
no, of
put yourself
course.
together, how can you?
You know, just prior to the pandemic, I remember there was a time when the show organizers had told me we were booking Kanika for 20, 25 days in a month. You were like one of the busiest artists that there was around. I mean, did you have a burnout at that point of time when you were doing
I
shows?
think I felt depressed after, like I was living in a new hotel room every day doing a show. I mean, not 20, 25, but yeah, there have been
Yeah,
18 to 20 shows in a month. Like it's back in the day.
yeah.
And it was too much. I don't do that much anymore. I do very little. I'm very selective. I don't take up every show I get because I have to look after myself. The last thing I want is to fall sick and, something happened to me because, you are on a flight every day. You're eating food outside. It's a very toxic lifestyle.
Of course it is, of course.
Your immunity goes down. You are in touch with so many people. So I think less is more. And, you have to learn to be less greedy in life. And,
Yeah, but I want your mantra. You're on a plane almost every second day eating the toxic food and you're still looking like this. So yeah, I think we'll settle for this
I
kind of
don't eat,
toxic
no,
lifestyle.
I don't eat plain food. I just don't eat it. And then the problem is that I'll eat healthy, and then how much salad can you have in a hotel? God knows how it's made.
What's your poison food-wise? You're from Lucknow and I know that you like food.
Salad. I live to eat and sing.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I must. Yeah, I'm so sorry, and my children and my parents and everybody else.
No, I understand that, but I mean, we'll take that as a given.
I'm such a foodie. Like I have aloo puri and I have halwa, like aate ka halwa. I'm a UP girl, like By wearing designer clothes, that whole UP girl doesn't go out. Let me tell you.
But the UP girl really knows how to hold a cord.
My mother comes to Bombay and I tell her Ram Asri ki mithai lekar aana, like malai cham cham, chappan bhog ki mithai. It's so good. I mean, it's.
You mentioned mithai so much. You're a sweet tooth.
I love mithai, and I love like the desi UP khana, like matar ki kachori and dal bati and like all homemade and even otherwise. Like it's so good. Chaat.
Oh, this is not the best time to discuss all this. I'm suddenly being very hungry.
I'm on a strict diet, I swear. Like, I don't even know why I'm talking about food so much. But
listen, the last 2 years have seen a plethora of artists, music, influencers, so many online digital sensations. And I don't want to diss out any talent. Sometimes there's always a hidden gem somewhere. Any point in stage, I know that you're not at all an insecure person. But as an artist, can you sometimes feel, wow, there's a lot of talent out there? Is there ever a fear factor?
No, because I think, I spiritually feel that if I want to win, if I want to be happy, if I want happiness, and if I want love from people, if I want good music, so do you, so do they. I mean, everybody deserves to be happy. Everyone deserves to feel the success. So if somebody is successful, I don't feel envious. Thank God I don't have that. Thank God I don't have that, because I could have been an envious person. I could have been an insecure person. And I think that is such a huge complex to suffer. It's a disease. So I pray to God every day. Thank God that I'm not envious of, people. The only thing I feel envious about is when I see my friends in London who are sitting in the park and hanging out with their children and doing school drop-offs, and I don't. Like I feel that when their school plays and I'm not there, and there's there are things, then I feel a little envious. Oh, she's so lucky. And then they tell me, you're so lucky, you're on a plane, we are stuck, you have so much freedom. And I'm like, what?
The grass is always greener, always on the other side, always. So let's talk about the track, which is something, even my producer was saying, बहुत जाना पहचाना, बहुत बढ़िया folk song, various versions, not just one, by the way. When I was looking online, although yours is an original number and it's taken just the wordings from that, this folk track, these wordings, this has been sung in a number of different ways. Is it something that also when when you're growing up, you hear so many folk tracks, was this one of your favorites also, even though, like I mentioned, this is an original which has these words in it?
It's a track that everybody loves. And I've always sung the track, and it's funny because that is why when we were creating the track and they were creating it in front of me, suddenly when they needed a cross, I suddenly started singing Buhe Bariyan because I do so many shows and I do mashups of one song to another song to another. And while we were singing this, and I think the chords just went towards this, and it just happened very naturally.
Difficult to sort of choose the right track to come out with for a single? I mean, like, you have so many of them. How do you sift through which one I want to like put out now and all that?
It just happens. Sometimes you love a track that you're doing, and when it comes out, you just feel like, oh, why did I do that? You feel disconnected. Like I have had that problem, This track I've had in my inbox for almost 6 to 8 months, and I've loved it. I've been listening to it. I've not disconnected with it.
This, when I was actually listening to it, it's a very different version of you. What people think Kanika Kapoor is, they've not seen your entire repertoire, entire range. And I was listening to it, also a very soothing track. It was different. Were you also thinking that, okay, audiences might take a while to maybe understand me in this zone? This is not their peppy zone that they want, maybe?
I mean, people don't, many times people just don't know when they are listening to a new track. I mean, even the track from Pushpa, Oo Bolega, like nobody knew I sang it. Like so many times, whenever I've, posted it or whatever, like it's just, oh my God, that's your track. That's your track. That's your track, really? Like the voice is different. When I did Dada Does Say, I start my concerts, like people don't know it's my track, even today.
Really?
Many people don't know. You and I know, and the industry, a lot of people know, but a lot of people don't know because they don't relate. They just relate to Dhoom Dhadaka, which is who I am. I am Dhoom Dhadaka. So come on.
But you're also this. If they've heard this, they'll understand it. You were talking about Pushpa, which is an incredible success. The last 3 months has put the world upside down for so many people. And there again, we talk about how we don't actually recreate. Even the recreation of the iconic track in Pushpa, with you doing it. Of course, you're working with Devi Shankar Prasad Saab. How did that work? I mean, I don't understand. How was you that choice for that? That was interesting casting for a voice.
I've known DSP for a few years, and I met him first time at Chiranjeevi's birthday in Hyderabad. Their family's good, they're family friends of ours, and it's funny, Ram Charan's wife introduced me to him back then,
right?
And he just, he's been in touch with me for a few years, and we've been thinking we'll do something together. And then he just called me and said, "I need you to do this track for me. It's a South Indian film, just come."
Yeah. That's what they always say, they just come.
In between my shows, I was like, okay, I don't know if I have the time to do this, and my voice, in between shows is not perfect.
Yeah.
So but he said, it's a nice track. I said, send it to me. He said, no, I'm not sending you. You come. Come for one day.
Yeah.
I went, I reached in the morning. I reached the studio at 4 p.m. We worked till 4 a.m., 5 a.m.
Really?
We finished the track. We did a little video, and I took the 8:30 flight back to Bombay in the morning.
And then lo and behold, a month later, you see this phenomenon called Pushpa. Were you shocked?
I was, and I was like, really? So I didn't know much about the film, and it's sad, but we are disconnected. Not anymore, but we have been disconnected.
Yeah.
And it's amazing, that it's just became such a big rage. And so he had the O Antava, was ready. So I actually learned.
I was going to say,
from that.
Are you a good linguist? Or is it easy for you to catch on to words?
For sure.
Yeah.
I think this became one of those industry changers. And we were talking about this earlier. Were you surprised at how easily we've actually lost space or foothold to the South industry? We have to claim it back if we talk about North Indian movies. But you might end up singing a lot more for the South performers now.
I've done a Bengali song. I'm going to do for me, world music is, I don't cage myself to one thing. I'm happy to experiment. I have no egos about who to work with, who not to work with. I've done collaborations with newcomers. I've done collaborations with famous people. I don't think anybody's anybody. I think talent is just talent, and I don't overthink. I just go with the flow, and something happens. I mean, even in Sharma Ji Namkeen, the song Lal Tamatar I've done on Rishi Ji, and it's a very cute track. It was done a few months ago, and it just came out, and it's a beautiful track. I mean, film is on OTT, so it's
of course.
The track's not been promoted so much, but it's a very, very good track.
Do you watch your work? Like, how a lot of people like to watch, like I've done this, I've done that. You watch it yourself, not to critically look at it, but just generally to enjoy the flavor.
I do, but to be honest, Salil, I don't get time. I have
Yeah.
no, I have 3 children. I don't know.
Listen, that's unbelievable. I've got 2 kids, and it's like an army with those 2 kids. I cannot believe the superwoman that you were to bring them up. And they're fantastic. They're gorgeous. It's unbelievable.
I
I
think
have
people
3
just don't
teenagers. It's
understand.
much harder now than ever before. Like it's driving me mad.
But
So
but
the
it's something
problem
else.
is, like the problem is that the daughter is also crushing and the mother is also crushing. I mean, like so we are both talking about each other's crushes. Like that is the funny bit.
Wow. No, but you've always been different in that way. Very, very chilled out. There's a great line of communication. Parenting these days, people get very fearful of it. I mean, I don't think I know anyone. I think you're probably going to be the only person I know who's going to have 3 kids.
I don't think people are even ready to
I
have
have
one
3
now.
teenagers, not even 3 kids.
Yeah,
Like
not kids also.
and I look at them and I'm like, when did I have them? Like I was 17. Like how could I? Like I'm
Are your
growing up
boys,
myself now.
Are
Like
they
I'm
protective
17.
of you? Are your boys protective of you when you go out and all? They're
My
like,
boy,
my
I have
mother.
a boy and 2 girls, and they're
Oh,
all,
right.
we go out and we go to a beach club, and I'm dancing more, and they're like, calm down,
Which is, it's a never, I mean, like I said, I'm never going to see this again in the current world. And like I said, not too many people will agree to the fact that you have 3 teenage
It's
children.
funny. My kids' friends come over, and they're also now teenagers. They're all like, big and tall, and they all come over, and we're all hanging on the couch, and we're all chatting about everything in front of each other. Like it's just, I'm a part of their gang. I'm not like a mummy, which is really funny. And I
Which is
tell them, I
true.
said, I can't believe I'm your mom. Like how?
Yeah, I think your son and your daughters are going to be very, very protective of you because you might end up being the crush of many of their friends. And they've got to be careful of that as well.
That's also happened.
Of course, it's going to happen, of course.
God.
But it's okay. I think you're on the right track, Kanika. Thanks again for joining us. It really is amazing. You're a jet setter, a trend setter, but you also have the most wonderful voice. Very few can actually put that entire package together, and you're being able to do it so well. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Just having fun in my life, and I'm very grateful for everything. And now I'm leaving. I'm going to have my bhel puri.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you. All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.